Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday and welcome to some fast and fun projects with Noreen. I am Noreen. I am the product development creative manager here at Creative Memories. And as always, it's my pleasure each and every Wednesday to join you for a little while, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Sometimes we go all the way for an hour to talk about fast and fun projects, just like the name suggests. And we could be doing layouts, we could be doing all kinds of things. Today we're doing some cards and borders, and we are going to have a great time. So we've got some gals joining us now. Oh, first up is Carmel in Brisbane. Welcome. Judy from Boston. There's Sue from Oregon. We've got Debbie from Grass Valley. Here's Sabine. I appreciate you joining. Oh, that's great. Someone from Illinois. And we've even got Central Florida joining us. So again, everybody's coming in from all over the place. And I should also say happy official spring, right? We have made it to spring in the Northern Hemisphere. You wouldn't know it to necessarily look outside in my front yard because I still have, a ton of snow built up. And I know that there's lots of places that are still undergoing all of that winter weather. So fingers crossed that it's warming up soon, but I think the end is in sight. So hopefully you are somewhere warm and cozy, or you are enjoying some spring weather yourself. I see somebody joining me from Calgary. Howdy, eh? Good to see you. We've got Puerto Rico joining us, Missouri, Indiana, Philadelphia. Hello, friends. How are you? Minnesota is here as well, our home state for creative memories, right? So thank you, everybody, for joining me. And I really hope I had hubby, who is an IT tech guy. I had him go through everything with a fine-tooth comb today, reset the internet, make sure our upload speeds were doing good, and all of the rest of it. So fingers crossed we don't have the same problems that we had last week. I know many of you had to kind of back out and watch the replay. So again, if you have problems with your sound, if you have problems with your video, don't worry, don't stress. It will all be available for you at the end when you can watch the replay. And of course, you can go back and watch all of the replays. So it's always great. I love being live with you, but you can always go back. Hello, everyone. Okay, we've got so many gals joining us today. I love seeing that. But we've also got a ton of stuff to talk about. So I want to get started. And I'm just not sure where I should even start because there's just so much I want to tell you about. So you know what? I think the first thing I want to talk about is the two promos, because the products that you're going to see me using are some of them, there's a few of them that are regular line products, but a lot of them are from the current promos that are happening. So why don't we go over to my computer, and I'll remind you right off the bat that this is the Canadian website. I'm in Canada. You can see the little Canadian maple leaf up there in the top corner. And you can see the fantastic, our promo for card making and borders. So you can see all of that info right here. And when you go onto your screen, your website for your country, creativememories.com, creativememories.ca, or creativememories.com/au, you're going to see all of the information as to the spend amounts, the qualifying amounts. But we're going to be playing with all three of these things today, these fantastic rainbow cards, the how do you do warm and cool sentiments, and this super fun cards and borders template. But I also wanted to point out that the envelope and bow creator is back in stock. Hooray! I can hear you all cheering. We had so much fun with this last fall. We sold out and now it is back. So you can either purchase the envelope and bow creator on its own, but you can also purchase the bundle, and I'm going to flip you over to my table now and show you what's in the bundle. So here is the envelope and bow creator. I'm not going to really play with it today. I just really wanted to draw your attention to it. And the fact that we're baking cards, many of you are going to be excited to be able to make some coordinating envelopes. So it is back in stock. I forgot to do this before we went on, but I will put the link to the Fast and Fun episode from last October when we played with the envelope and bow creator. Okay? So you can buy the envelope and bow creator on its own. I just wanted to remind you that the stylus that you need for scoring comes with the envelope and bow creator itself. You can also buy the bone folder separately, but the bundle itself comes with 3 packs of perfectly sized envelope papers, as well as the envelope and bow creator itself and the bone folder. So there's a limit to those bundles, but if you love having these fantastic craft papers to make your envelopes in these 3 sizes, 4x6, the slimline cards, or 5x7 envelopes, you'll want to grab the bundle so that you can get these included. Okay, so that bundle is definitely worth talking about, worth mentioning. Let me put it off to the side here. And let's talk about what we're playing with today, though, because these products are exclusive to this promo, but they coordinate with so many other of our beautiful Creative Memories products. So first up is the Borders and Cards recipe template. Now, we played with recipe templates last week, so we already went over a few of the tips and tricks with the the barn template from the On the Farm collection. But this exclusive template is going to allow you to create a real big variety of borders and cards. So we were so excited to bring this to you with, again, easy, fast, and fun ways to create really stunning cards. So we're going to make some cards. We're going to make some borders today. Then one of the other choices for your promo is the Rainbow Blank Card Kit. Now, many of you use the blank cards from Creative Memories on a regular basis, just the plain white ones. And we love those. But these are so much fun. So you get 20, let me just grab my bag here, it fell down. Yeah, a pack of 20 in all of these fantastic colors. And again, these colors are based on our cardstock collections and will match really, really nicely with those. So you've got all of the different kinds of colors that you could want, plus your neutrals, your black, your white, your grays, and your browns. Okay, so you get 20 cards, and they are blank on the inside. So there's the soft pink, but it's blank on the inside. So you've got soft pink on the outside, you've got the soft pink coordinating envelope, and then you have all of the other ones. We've got the red, we've got the cranberry, tangerine, pumpkin, canary. Now this one I think was supposed to be slate. Some of you knew that slate was on the slate for our cardstock, but it was not up to our quality standards, so we had to kind of abandon slate. We've got Kelly green, we've got dark green, island waters, we've got dark sea green, that gorgeous teal, baby blue, blue, navy, we've got purple ice, and eggplant. And of course we've got, the hot fudge, we've got another gray here, black and white. Okay, so fantastic assortment of cards. You're going to want all of those. I can think of so many, fun ways to use those. But you're also going to have a choice of choosing the How Do You Do warm and cool pack of stickers. Now, some of you with eagle eyes might remember that we had these quite a while back in black and white. They were just black and white. So they were pretty versatile, but they were kind of boring. There wasn't a lot of oomph to them. So I love these because they coordinate with our cardstock colors. And again, we've given you both the cool and the warm. So let's look at the cardstock colors here that coordinate. So I've got my red, my canary. Oh, and I've got my pumpkin. Some of you might be wondering, actually, I'll just stop here for a second, about these stickers that I have on my Power Simple sleeves. And they're actually just the stickers that come on your package of cardstock. So after you take your cardstock out, these are actually very easy to peel off the kind of saran wrap coating. And I just like to put them right on my simple sleeve. And then this goes into my Kallax behind me that you often see. And then I can just pull out my cardstock as I need. And you can see that there's quite a lot of cardstock in here. I think I've got 3 packs of the canary in there. And because of the gusseted bottom and side, it holds it beautifully. So we've got and I need to get another package of pumpkin because I threw out the wrapper with the label on it before I transferred it to my simple sleeve. So that's why that one has just got a sticky note. But so there's our red, our canary, and our pumpkin. And look at how beautifully those cool stickers go with those colors. And then we've got our baby blue, our island waters, and our regular blue. And those coordinate perfectly with the cool stickers. So you're going to be able to have so much fun, with those stickers, and you're going to be able to pull those cardstock colors in, and then all of the collections that feature these colors, these stickers will work with those as well. So I love how it works. Now, one last thing before we get creating, I want to talk really quickly about our Totally Tonals. But I'm going to give you a hint. Next week, we're going to do a Totally Tonal mashup. We're going to use Totally Tonals from our Q1 collection, the Baby Blue, Island Waters, and Purple Ice. We're going to use those with some other collections. But again, look at how beautifully, especially the Island Waters and Baby Blue, look at how beautifully those are going to coordinate with those cool stickers. So much fun to play with. So many great things that coordinate. I absolutely love the direction that we're going, where we have our cardstock coordinating and matching with other products in the line. So fantastic. So what I thought we would do is we're going to kind of combine these, and we're going to make some cards, and we're going to make some borders. And I thought what we would do is kind of start from, none of them are hard, but I thought we would start with the most simple. Now, if you look on the template itself, you'll see that there's 2 different designs for our cards. So one has kind of this wavy band and then 3 other pieces. And then this one has these fun sort of waves that come down from the side, and then a large circle. Now, we didn't have enough room to put 3 cards, even though the 3 cards would be just about 12 inches wide. Because of the way the templates are constructed, we didn't have room for 3 cards. So in the center here, we've put some little journal boxes. How many times have you kind of, needed a little space to write? You can take these and cut out some little, strips, or you can just place these down on your, your layout, trace the box, and then use that as a little place to journal on. So again, useful for cutting and tracing. Now at the top here, we've got the 3 different borders. And I love this one especially because even though it kind of looks like our decorative trimmer, let me grab that. At first glance, you sort of think, well, it's like the decorative trimmer. but it's not. It's actually kind of asymmetrical. So when you go ahead and use this, you actually can do a lot with that sort of rolling hills look. So I love that. And then we've got this sort of mini ray border. And then along the bottom here, we've got a square border. Now remember, you can flip and rotate. So again, with the cards, for example, you can make, 4 different orientations. You can have the circle up here, like that, like that. So you can have it all different ways. And then when you flip it over, you've got the waves running the opposite way. So there is so much that you can do with this fantastic recipes template, Borders and Cards recipes template. So let's start off with what I think is the easiest card. And we're just going to do this with some cardstock. So what we're going to do is we're going to trace a couple of shapes really fast. I'm not going to actually go ahead and cut everything out because that's usually what takes just a few extra minutes. But you can see that I've even simplified this more, and I've made the bottom piece just one piece. So let's go ahead. Where's my scraps? Here we go. All right, so let's go ahead. I've got a little bit of red cardstock. One of the tips that I don't think I gave you last week was to try, if you can, to use a straight edge, especially when you're using scraps. So I would go ahead and line up that top edge with the edge of my paper, and then it's just one less thing to cut. So I'm just going to kind of anchor that there. Got my pencil, and all I need to do is to trace around like that. Okay, then I can take my scissors, and again, you may not be able to see those pencil lines the best on camera. And I'm just going to really roughly cut this really quick. And like I said, I'm not going to cut out everything that we trace. Once you get the idea behind it, you can understand the parts that I've gone ahead and traced and cut out. But let's do one, just so if you missed see, I'm not getting that very well, but it's all good. If you missed our time together last week, you might not have seen all of my little tips and tricks. Now, when you're working with cardstock, I love it because, of course, you could just flip it over and then you won't see the little pencil marks. But you can just take a little white art eraser, a nice soft eraser, and go ahead and erase your lines. But here's the big trick that I like to use with cardstock. If you have a look, some of my cuts are not the best. Just taking a little emery board, and I'm not distressing the edges, I'm just smoothing them out. You know how sometimes if you clip your nails and you've got just a little, uneven spot? It's the same idea. So I'm just smoothing out any of my cuts. I always have an emery board in my scrap tools, and then that's the perfect little edges. So then I can go ahead and take I used a canary card. So let's get the canary card here from my other pile. And that's just going to go on the top. And then I did the same thing with pumpkin for the bottom. So we're just going to trace that out. And again, I would always try to line up the straight edges to save myself a little bit of cutting. And here, I'm just going to skip over this dividing center line, continue tracing, and then when I go to cut, I can just, might have to just, use my best judgment there. This is not going to be perfect, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut as if it was a continuous line. Okay? So I would go ahead, finish that cut, and then I put my pumpkin part down here at the bottom. And then, let's get this out of the way. We don't need that right now. And then I chose one of the stickers, hello. And then on this second sheet, we've got some fun borders, and these little pieces here, they sort of look like little pieces of washi tape with the little serrated edges. So I literally took one hello sticker, one sort of little washi tape sticker, added them on top, and then I chose two, the two sort of wavy border stickers. Now here's a tip for you, and you're going to see this in the next card that we make. There are two sizes of border stickers here, and one of them is the exact width of the card, and the other is the exact height, or whichever way you're thinking about it. Okay, so if I had thought about it ahead of time, I would have, kind of changed my colors, and then I could have used one of the narrow stickers that fits exactly across the card. As it was, I used one of the wide ones, and I had to just trim it off just a little bit. But so fun, and these stickers are going to make it really simple for you to get these card designs done. Okay, where does this one go? I don't even know. There it is. All right, so that is one quite simple card. Let's move on to another one. Get my red and pumpkin out of the way here. And let's move on to another simple card that just uses a simple strip of paper and then our stickers. So I've got a piece of paper here that measures 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. Let me just double check that. Yeah, 2 3/4 by 5 1/2. And let's use the baby blue card. There we go. So the baby blue card, this one is a super, super fast card. I'm literally going to adhere my strip down the center of my card. Okay, wherever you decide. And then I'm going to go back and pull those fun circle borders. Now, in between, when you're pulling these off the carrier sheet, there's some little white dots. So I'm just going to, sorry, I got to start at this end. And I'm just going to have to do a little trim up there. So I'm just going to get these over the edge, and then I'm going to take some of these dots and I'm just going to put them back into the circles so that some of my open spaces are covered over. So I didn't get that one in quite right. Let's use our multi-purpose tool. There we go. All right, so that's my bottom. And then I've got a second one of these. So fast. And we'll just go along the top. I didn't do a very good job of centering my strip this time, did I? I'm a little bit high. Now, if you ever have those little bits of overlap here, you can just take your scissors, flip over to the back side, and give your paper a little haircut there. All right, and then we can add some more of these. You can either make them the same, or I kind of offset them. So I kind of have it in a bit of a zigzag pattern. And then I won't do that right now, but down here at the bottom, I took one and just kind of, again, overlapped it and then trimmed off the excess. Okay. And then in the dots, the open dots that were not covered by the white stickers, in this sticker here, there's some tiny little dots on the inside of it. So as you peel it off, the little dots are going to stick. Like who would have thought that we'd have so much fun with just little dots stickers? So I need my multi-purpose tool here, and then I just came along and added the tiny dot stickers. I love these because you don't have to worry about, adhering them. If I was going to have to try and put even repositionable adhesive on here, it would drive me crazy. So, but little stickers like this, totally easy. Okay, a couple more. So it just gives a little bit more detail, but we've got it all covered with dots. And if you didn't notice when I was showing the paper, This is one of the Totally Tonals baby blue papers, and it has dots on it. So again, repeating those elements, repeating those shapes is what's really fun. And then I could take, another nice big circle there, but I thought that that was a little bit pale. So I used the Thinking of You, and it kind of has that circular or slightly off circle for the of. So I just popped that up with some foam squares, or you can use your foam tape. And again, foam tape is great, especially for card sentiments, because then it doesn't get squished down when it's in the envelope, right? And the other fun thing with this is that, you could mix and match your envelopes. Obviously, I could take some more of this paper and I could use my envelope maker to create a coordinating envelope, or I could just go ahead and maybe use, with my blue one, I could just use the blue envelope. So that would be a fun little extra, difference that I could do when I'm sending this off. So really, really easy. And again, this strip in the middle, 5.5 inches wide, same width as the card, and then 2 3/4 inches tall. So that's our second card. Now, none of the cards are difficult, but this template is the one that does take the most time. So let's just talk about it really quickly. So you can see when we were looking at the template, we were looking at it this way. I always sort of think when I can see the Creative Memories logo, usually at the bottom right-hand corner, that's, the manufactured sort of orientation. So what I've done here is I've taken my template and I have gone like this. So I've kind of flipped it over and turned it upside down. So again, I've got 8 different orientations that I could have with these card templates. Now, here's a little secret about this one. If you are an advisor and you read your information that came out, it actually fits, or you can actually use your custom cutting system to cut that out. So I don't know about you, but I am not the best when it comes to cutting circles with my scissors. Usually I get those little sort of rough edges that I was talking about. So the inside of the medium circle, right? Large, medium, small. The inside of the medium circle with the red blade will give you your circle shape. So again, you can certainly cut it out, but you can see that that's a perfect fit, and that might just be a little quicker for you. So that's an easy trick for that one. Now, when I was deciding, what papers to use, I thought it would be fun to kind of create that ombre sort of pattern. So I pulled out my Totally Tonals Island Waters. Let me get the sheet there. And again, with the Totally Tonals, you've got all of that range of dark to light. So I basically chose several different papers, and for each of the sort of wavy shapes, I just chose the next one sort of down. So that's an easy way to create that fun ombre look. And I'll tell you another secret. This kind of Island Waters colored solid circle, that is actually the base of the card. So I did not cut out this circle. I cut out all of the other pieces, and then when I put it back together again, the circle remained in the center there, or off to the side there. So let me just give you a couple of quick tips for using that. Let's use this one for example. Okay, so it's great for scraps. We talked about this last week. But what you want to do is you want to make sure you are arranging your paper so that the pattern makes sense. Now, these are kind of overall patterns, so it's not a big deal if you kind of place your paper on there to make the most of your pattern. But if you had a text pattern, if you had a pattern that had a really obvious directionality to it, you would want to make sure that you have your template placed on that appropriately. So for here, you can see the third piece in, I used this. So I took my template, let me get it in the right orientation, there we go. And I made sure that the bottom of that shape, whichever one it was, there we go, was against the bottom of the paper. So that when I trace the shape and cut it out, and I'm actually just going to move it over because that was the last shape that I cut out, so the edge will work still. So that when I cut it out, the pattern is going in the correct way. So it may not be a big deal for some patterns, but again, if you have something that's recognizable, you'll want to take that extra bit of time and make sure that the pattern is going in the right direction. Now, one other tip about a card like this is that I went ahead and traced and cut all of my pieces. Then I put the template down on top of my card, and I did add just a little bit of repositionable adhesive to the back so that it wouldn't move around. And then I added my repositionable adhesive, and I was able to just pop it right into the spot. Okay, that one's a little big, but you can see that it would be in the right spot. So use your template not only for cutting, tracing and cutting, but also to help you place your pieces back again. Okay, so there's our 3 cards that we made using this. Again, this one does not have any of the recipe template, just the stickers. And then the other 2 are based on our shapes from our recipe template. So many variations. So let's talk about borders now. Get our cards away here. Just give me a second, sorry. This is when the magic of, filming versus live comes in handy. Because I can clean up and then magically my desk is all clean. Okay, let's talk about our borders. It's one of my little rogue dots there. And we've got 3 different sort of orientations. Now, just like the circle here, we've also got a little trick or a little helper for the square. So we're going to start with the squares, then we're going to do this sort of ray style of border, and then we'll do this one. I'm seeing a comment. And to think I didn't need this template. I know. When you see everything that it can do, I think it's a must-have. This is going to be one that I keep and pull out and use in a variety of different ways. All right, so the trick for this one is that these are sized exactly the same size as our square punch. So our square punch is the exact right size for the squares in the template there. So now where did I put my square border? Here we go. So it makes it really easy to create a fun border with the squares. Now, somebody is going to say, well, I don't really need that part of the template then. But again, it's going to help you with your placement. So if you don't have the square punch, of course, you can go ahead and trace your triangles. But even if you punch out all of your squares with the square punch, and then use your scissors to cut them in half on the diagonal, your template is important because it's going to help you fit your pieces back in. So it's going to aid with the placement. So here I took the same pattern from the Totally Tonals. You can see that there's the purple ice, the island waters, and the baby blue, all of the gingham pattern from those 3 different packs. And I just created that fun little sort of repeating pattern. I think it actually kind of goes better this way. So I just went purple, green, blue, purple, green, blue, purple, green, blue, purple, green, blue. So how many squares is that all together? That was 2 squares of each color. So 2 purple squares, cut in half, 2 green and 2 blue. So that's a really fun and easy border. Now, you might notice that because of the manufacturing, the way this has to be manufactured, what's in between, that's just on white cardstock. So it's a 12-inch by 2-inch piece of white cardstock, and then I've just used the template to place all of the pieces. So that's what I was just going to say. You see this extra bit of cardstock on the end, and that's just because of the way that the templates are manufactured. It obviously has to hold it together. So what I would do is I would just come in and trim that off, and then I'd place this whole border, onto a larger piece. Okay, so whatever piece you want, and I would just kind of create a nice frame around that. So we could just go ahead and cut this real fast. Let's do it. There's nothing like just doing it, right? And that's going to be about 2.5. Okay, so I'm using up all of my scraps here. So there's my kind of Island Waters background and my fun little border with all of the different patchworks. And again, it's really great because although you see it sideways on the template, you can use these borders whichever way you like. All right, so that's one. Let me just adhere this really quickly so the pieces don't go all over the place. And then I can set it aside and not worry about it. So there's one border with our squares. Let's look at the next one here. I'll take my squares away. And I love this sort of ray border. So of course it made me think of a rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. These are the colors of the rainbow. That was the little song my kids used to sing. So isn't that fun? All I've done, because there's 6 segments here, I've just repeated, and you could do red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple, and then start again at red. You can do them all in the same color. You could alternate, red, orange, yellow, red, orange, yellow, red, orange, yellow, and it would be that beautiful sun sort of, sun rays. And again, this at the top and this at the bottom. How fun would that be on your layout? Let's just trim this down. We've got the same sort of thing happening with the extra space along the edges. Let's just trim off the edges. Let's just show what it would look like on the black. I think that's so much fun. So wouldn't that be great? Actually, it might be rays going out at the top and then flipped around, rays coming down at the bottom. And it almost kind of creates an optical illusion, doesn't it? It looks like that idea of perspective. So I think that would be really fun. And then, I know this is not the same border, but, if you get 2 of these borders, one at the top, one at the bottom, your picture's in between. And even though these are sentiment stickers, you could use something like celebrate or the hello, those kinds of things would be able to work for your sentiments, your titles on a page. So again, kind of multi-purpose, but isn't that fun? I love that. I love that a lot. Okay, let's move on to the last border, which is the wave. And again, I love it because it's not symmetrical. You're going to be able to create lots of different sort of waves and rolling sort of hills. I actually did this as well, just kind of fooling around with Painted Garden, just to create those fun waves in the background. Now again, you could use your decorative trimmer, right? But all of them are going to be pretty symmetrical. And even if you move them along a little bit, they're going to be pretty much the same. So this is great because it gives you the opportunity for about 4 different kinds of waves. So let's just have a look here. So you've got the one here, and obviously the opposite that way. And then when you flip it over, you've got the larger hill, so to speak, or wave, whatever way you want to think about it, on that side, right? And then same kind of thing, the larger wave down below. So to do something like this, grab, these were the papers that I used. I've got the navy, I've got the baby blue, and I've got the royal. So you can see that just by kind of moving them around, changing the direction, you're going to have different sort of looks when you create your wave. So all I did here, let's do one together. Again, I put it at the bottom and I decided which way I wanted my wave. And I always try to keep that line, that connecting part of the Mylar template along the bottom edge. And again, even though it stops here, I'm just going to pretend that it doesn't stop. So when I go ahead and do my tracing, I skip over this. Then I go to the edge there, skip over that, go to the edge there. So it kind of, doesn't look like a complete wave. So here's where I can just kind of use my imagination and complete the wave. And then again, just continue along that border, that line, that I created. And I'm not even worried necessarily about it being perfect because I'm going to layer these up. And then when I get to the end of my pencil line, maybe I'm just going to kind of go off the edge. So I can flip that over. Don't even have to worry about the pencil lines. And all of my little craggy cuts there, just going to smooth out. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but you can see how it's kind of craggy there. I'm just going to smooth it out just by rubbing it. It's not distressing it. And our cardstock is solid core anyway, so even if you do kind of rub the edges, you're not going to have that white core exposed because it's the same color all the way through. Okay, so then maybe I want to go on to my blue, so I'm going to put this on top. Let's adhere it so that it doesn't move around. Just a little bit of repositionable. And we'll adhere it down. And then I'm going to put my template over top of it to see how I want to do the next one. So maybe I want to do it that way. Oh, I kind of like that way. Okay, so that's the way I'm going to do it. And I'm going to make it move up just a little bit. And I can go ahead and again, just trace really quickly, cut really quickly, and then layer it. And that's exactly how I created this fun sort of wavy border at the bottom. So that's one way you can use this part of the border template. You can also see how you could make it into different shapes. And like it shows on the template insert, look at how each of the 5 shapes that is part of that border, you could actually trace out and cut out to create that super fun kind of patchwork wavy border. So absolutely so much fun. So many different ways that you can use this template. And, we've done 3 different borders and 3 different cards. Now, again, I haven't traced and cut all of them, but you can see how quickly we'd be able to get all of those done. So from simplest and quickest to kind of the most, these 2 would be the most not difficult, but take the most time because you have more pieces that you're tracing. This was simple. This we punched and then used the template to arrange. And this we've traced and cut only 3 pieces. But again, what a great, great look. So for those of you, like our commenter said there earlier, for those of you who, kind of looked at this template and thought, I don't know what I'm going to be doing with it. I think it's a must-have. I really do. I think it's going to be quite versatile for you. Grab one of these as one of your promo items. I actually keep all of my templates in my my fill-in file sleeve inside my sort and stash binder. So, I flip through it every once in a while, and I'm sure when I come across this one in the future again, it's going to be a fun one to pull out. And again, don't forget, not just for the cardstock and the Totally Tonals, but you can use any collections with these. So, I want to know how many of you are looking to get the template. How many of you are looking to get the warm and cool stickers? And this is a big mess over here now, but how many of you are looking to get or hoping to get the rainbow card set? So definitely put that in the comments below for me so that I know what is your favorite thing from this promo. The cards, the stickers, or the template, or all three. Okay. And of course, don't forget, while you are doing your spend and get, to spend on the envelope bundle so that you can get some of your favorite products. All right. All right. Let me flip you back over here. That was so much fun. I had a blast creating those card and border designs. I have the best job in the world because I get to see, well, I get to help design now, but I get to see all the great stuff ahead of time. So I got these a couple of weeks ago and was playing with them, and I just knew that you guys were going to love them. So again, I want to see which ones are your top priorities: the recipe template, the rainbow cards, or the stickers, or again, all three. Okay. And I will make sure to go back into the description, both on the Facebook group and the YouTube channel, to put in the link to the video from last October when we played with the envelope and bow creator, because I know lots of you are going to be excited about getting your hands on that after a few months. Okay. So have fun with all of the borders and cards that are in your future. Can't wait to see what you do with them. But don't forget, and I should probably pull this back up online here. Let me go back to my computer screen for just a moment. This promo is only on until March 28th, or while supplies last. So next Tuesday. So don't forget to grab those. And of course, we don't want people to be disappointed. So grab those while you can. And also, of course, pick up your envelope and bow creator or the envelope and bow creator bundle. All right. Okay, so next week, I mentioned that we're going to continue to play with Totally Tonals. For those of you who are advisors, you know that the end of March marks the end of Q1, and our Totally Tonal collections that I was showing you and playing with today are our Q1 Totally Tonals. So you probably are guessing that maybe in Q2 there might be some other Totally Tonals. But I want to do some mixing and matching. We're going to have a big mashup next week, and we're going to look at how Totally Tonals from Q1 worked with all or many of the collections from the past 3 months here at Creative Memories. Because again, we're really focusing on having the cardstock match, having the colors from the Totally Tonals blend with other collections so that you have even more versatility. You have even more options when you are looking to create your pages. So be ready for the big mashup, the ultimate mashup next week. That's next Wednesday, March 29th, 5 p.m. Central Time, right here, either on the Virtual Crop Facebook page or the Creative Memories YouTube channel. And again, don't forget to join, follow, subscribe, get notified, all of that good stuff on both platforms so that you don't miss anything. All right? Okay, so I'm going to have fun going through all of your comments, and I can't wait to see you for the mashup next week. Have a great one, everybody. Bye-bye for now.